Hey, Brian.
Hey, Keith.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
And I'm doing good, too.
And we're on Denverwineguys.com.
That's it. Denverwineguy.com. I'm Keith.
I'm Brian.
And we do have empty glasses, right?
Well, we're going to rectify that.
Are we? With what?
With the
Otima.
10-year-old Tawny Port.
How do you say that? Wars or wares?
Good question. I've always said...
what have you always said?
Wars.
Have you?
Yeah. But I've heard it pronounced both. Which leads us to...
well, you're going to say wars, and I'm going to say wares.
Well, we probably don't want to talk about the Coburn now, do we?
The what?
Coburn.
The Coburn? No, we do not. But that's another show. So, but for now, it's wares and wars. And so we're drinking. What are we drinking? Like Otima 10-year Tawny Port.
And I wish we had the candlelight so you could really see the color on that to appreciate how it's just this dark amber color, which is different from a ruby port. Ruby ports are going to be very black and inky, and the Tawny ports are pale like they are because you actually see the color better when you swirl it like that.
It almost has a touch of rose, like a rose color to it.
Pigeon eye.
Pigeon eye? Oh, yeah.
Pigeon eye, yeah.
I can see that.
But it loses that dense color because they do...
I do not like pigeons. Okay? Just to let you know. Sorry, go ahead.
So after the wine sits in a cask, it starts to throw a crust, and it sits there at the bottom of the...
After a wine sits in a cask?
After port sits in cask,
right?
It throws a deposit. They rack that up, or they...
Now you can say wine, because port is wine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
They take that wine, or port, and put it into another barrel, and they can do this several times, leaving behind all the color matter.
Really?
Giving this that light color that you see in a Tawny port. Tawnies tend to also, and I haven't even tasted this one yet, but you can almost guess that it's going to have a caramel characteristic to it. Very, very typical.
You know what I like about Tawny Port? Yes, caramel. And it reminds me, as a kid in Florida, going to the store, Publix is where we used to go down there, Publix grocery store, and getting the little caramels wrapped in this little cellophane.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It was so good.
Brock's.
Oh,
yeah.
I love those.
Brock's caramels.
I love caramel. So, you say caramel or caramel?
I say caramel.
Sometimes I say either or. It depends on the day.
You know what? Sometimes
in a minute here, I might say caramel.
I think, depending on the day, I might say wares or wars.
Right. Right now it's wars. And it's wares over here. So, I definitely get a little bit of caramel on the nose.
We need to have
a little almond too. I get a little almond thing coming.
Some walnuts or something to eat.
Walnuts is good.
No, to eat with this, to have with it. Mm-hmm. That's something that goes wonderful.
And blue cheese.
Even better for a Tawny.
But walnuts and blue cheese on a plate. Pick it up in your mouth. Chewing on walnuts and blue cheese, and do this. In heaven.
And do what? Do this?
Do that. It's heaven. So, this Tawny Port, I've never had this before. Have you? This is the 10-year-old Otima, and I've never had the pleasure, but
I have.
I'm going to give it a point, a rating, as they say.
Okay. This would be our
1 to 100 scale, the most popular scale. So we're playing around with that a little bit. But I'm going to say 90 points.
I was going to do the same. I think the last show you said the points first. I need to say the points next.
Oh.
That way it doesn't look like I'm always following what you're
saying.
Right. I was going to say 90 points.
Ryan, what do you think of this?
I want to give it 90 points.
90 points?
Keith, what would you give it?
I'm going to say...
Just to be argumentative, you're gonna say something different. I'd say 90,
I agree.
91 points.
90. You're saying 90 plus?
90, 91, yeah.
So he's saying 90 plus. I'm saying 90.
90 plus means
And you know what?
90 points up to 99 points.
Well, yeah, right. Well, it could if you took it that way, but
Well, as it opens up, it can, go from 90 points to a 93, so on and so forth.
I think it's very good. And the price on this, I believe, is between the $15 and $20 mark in the retail store.
I think we sell it for $18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very solid. 90 points, definitely. Should go out and buy it. It's really good. What do you think?
I could drink this in the evening all the time.
And the nice thing about port is that you drink a little bit and then throw it in the refrigerator, and this port will keep for a good 2 to 3 months. You can take it out.
I've talked to a lot of port producers, and they've told me that 2 weeks is the most you should have a bottle. An open
I've heard
bottle
that too.
for.
I disagree.
But I disagree. Just like what you're saying.
Yeah.
I've actually had open port. This sounds ridiculous. As 10 months. Been open for 10 months. Yeah. Now, still drinkable. Was it as fresh? Did it show like it does when you pull the cork? No, but it was still drinkable.
Right.
And because of the alcohol content being so high, it'll last. It's a preservative. It'll last
A good amount of time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of time,
I think we're out of time. Are we?
we are.
Oh, this is Keith.
This is Brian.
And Denverwineguy.com. Thank you.
I don't know if you saw her.